Joel Fleischman Happy Hour Podcast, episode 161.
2 taps for Jules. That's her thing.
We are raising a
Welcome, AJ.
can,
Cheers.
raising the can
Cheers.
to Aaron Laatsch.
Cheers.
Today we are celebrating a huge milestone, but before we get into that, Aaron, you gave us a drink Wisconsin brandy old-fashioned ready to drink today.
I did.
Thank you so kindly for bringing that in.
It says cheese curds not included on the bottom, so they really took their brand
They sure did.
to another level.
They did.
Brandy old-fashioned sweet, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure, yes. Let me try.
What do you think?
Cheers, that's great.
Excellent.
That's spot on.
Yeah, love it. That's so great.
It's got
Right
a
on
little like cherry
Milwaukee,
juice,
too.
little fruity
Yes,
flavor even.
yes.
It's even got the fruit in it somehow.
For sure.
You guys sell that at the Piggly Wiggly?
We do, and we do pretty well with it. It's a nice Thursday night, Friday night option.
Well, how fitting for happy hour.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, you got a big old milestone. You are the 5th generation owner of the Kewaskum Piggly Wiggly.
Correct.
And you have a connection to Joel. So I'd like to just start with a connection first before we kind of dive into business and your background. How do you two know each other?
I guess we ended up at the same grade school in, about 1982-ish? No,
Sure.
80. First grade at Holy
right.
Trinity in Kewaskum.
Been friends ever since.
Ever since.
Yep.
Really no break ever in the action.
Yeah.
No.
And,
I don't think.
Yeah, and we really never split more than a couple miles apart from each other, really.
Overnight
Roots.
stays, the
Yeah,
whole thing.
We got some nicknames in the house. We already got to hear
Yep,
a little
yep.
AJ and Fleishy. So
Yep,
love the connection, guys. Aaron, tell us about your background, kind of, where you got to where you are today.
Lifetime Kewaskum resident. Our family business has been in Kewaskum for 5 generations. So when you're 16, you went to the family business to work at. I didn't really know any different.
Super annoying as his friend. One, he would talk endlessly about the pig, and I didn't care at all. And then 2, this is pre-cell phone, so you would have to wait to go out or come back and get Aaron to go to a party.
That is true. Yes.
So he'd be like, "Oh, I get up. I got to work till 9." I'm like, "Dude, seriously, you're killing my vibe, man."
You're on the high school manager list. You're working till 9. So,
Okay,
yeah.
very well. We all did our time, right?
Yep, we did.
Man,
Oh my
killed me.
gosh. Wow.
Missed so many early parties.
Yeah. And so today, fast forward, right? And, so you started when was it that you started the business?
I started. Our business started in 1876.
Aaron's an historian as well, and I don't know if we're going to get into that,
Yes,
but
yes.
he's really, really a historian, and maybe has always had a passion for it. Looking back, how many businesses in Wisconsin do you estimate are 150 years old? I mean, that is his unbelievable. I mean, the state's only been a state since 1848.
Right.
It's been a grocery store since 1876. I mean, you're talking legendly in Wisconsin anyway. Again, you're talking Europe or Guinness beers with 400 years or whatever Guinness is. But in the United States and Wisconsin, what do you estimate? I know there's farm, 100-year-old milestone farmers,
Correct.
but not 150.
Couple insurance companies that I've seen, but large companies. But as far as a small family business, it was hard to find any other ones.
Yeah, you're one of the oldest.
I would think.
So you have tax credits and government helps you and supports you.
All
I'm
that
sure.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, it really is so it's one of the oldest businesses in Wisconsin.
As I was researching too, it was like before, the telephone or the light bulb.
So I was thinking this summer, or a few weeks ago actually, the nation's celebrating 250 years this summer.
Yes.
And I got thinking, I'm like, geez, great-grandpa started this business only 100 years
Yeah.
after the country was founded. And to me, that just
Yeah. Put that in perspective.
took those connections back, how close we are to 250, yet
Yes.
we're so far away.
And that'd be your great-great-grandpa?
Great-great-grandpa on my mom's side.
And no electricity to start, right? Would there have been electricity probably an ice?
They
Always in Kewaskum?
Always in Kewaskum. Started on Main Street.
And Aaron has some he's even doing more every year. I just saw Norb Rolliner's meat. If you go to their meat section, he's got the original butcher block they use to cut the meat. And it's really, really cool. He's got a lot of historical facts of his 150. He's such an historian, plus about a legendary company. So really cool what you've done at the store.
Yeah,
Go check out his Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah. And you took over ownership then in 2023?
2023.
Okay.
My cousin, who's also 5th generation, had retired, and it was time for me to take the reins, and so my wife joined me at that time.
Shout out to Amy.
Shout out.
Yep. She's at work now, so good. And yeah, so we've been we'll start in our 4th year here on end of February.
And lots of family there. Your daughters
Yes.
work there.
Yep.
Your
Cousins,
brother
brothers.
works there. Cousins, brothers.
Yep.
Okay.
And some days it makes for a great family business, and other days it makes for a great family business.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well done. That's great. Well, yep.
And really maybe an inspiration to a lot of people. Aaron should be not the smartest guy in grade school or high school.
I will.
Did not win any
attest to that.
awards
Yep.
for grades.
I was
And
the average guy.
You can say that as a
Yep.
as a first grade
Yes,
friend, right?
yes.
Who saw it coming, but has really turned himself into a hell of a businessman, public speaker, historian, gives back to community in great ways. So really, really something to say like, hey, I'm nobody. I'm not a 4.0 student, whatever. You don't have to be a 4.8 student. Aaron didn't go to a 4-year college, stayed with the family business and really took it over and is doing amazing things.
Yeah. Well, speaking to family too, did you get any advice before you landed in the seat? And
the ownership seat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I had been managing the store for quite some time and worked closely with my cousin, but at the same time, like, he didn't want to steer me in one direction or another. That he wanted me to have my own direction and my own ideas. And
you never really actually worked with your grandpa? Was he already retired at the time?
He was retired, but I had worked with him 7 years, and he passed away. He worked the day before he passed.
Oh wow.
Wow. And what did you take away from him in all the years? And his name was Mixie,
Mixie,
which was based
Where
on
did that
also
come
in the
from?
grocery store.
That's what,
Yeah. So as a young child, he would go to his dad's store, and he was responsible for mixing the hard candies at the store.
Oh, okay.
So, and that name stuck with him from 10 years old till he
No
was
kidding.
81, the day he passed away.
Okay.
In fact,
I think
a lot
I
of
saw that.
That's the only way I knew him as.
Yeah. A lot of people. I remember his obituary was in the paper, and it did say Harold Mixie, and no one knew his first name. Like, it just.
Yeah, I
and that's a
wouldn't.
Kewaskum thing. That's probably a
Yes.
Wisconsin thing.
Sure. Yeah. Wow. And so
Also, he had a cup of coffee with the Milwaukee Brewers. Am I right?
Yeah. He had a short stint in 1936.
Yeah.
He was,
wow.
spring training, and
Very cool.
got kicked back to the family grocery store.
And is that inside the store too, Mixie Mart?
Yeah, it's up on our above our liquor department.
Okay.
Mixie's.
I love that.
Yep.
Give
So
respect
it's a little
there.
hint for us,
Yeah.
but not a lot of customers know it. But
Sure.
it's a
No,
fun thing
but
for
yeah.
us.
It's kind of like if you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you
Yeah.
know. Yep, for sure. And I guess too, we've had a lot of business, different business leaders that have worked with family and spouses and partners and this and that. Like, how does that dynamic work? Like, I know you already kind of spoke to that a bit, but
So one of my friends, Mike Paul, and his
Okay.
wife worked together for a long time at
Shout
their
out.
auction place.
Okay.
And,
Let's get Mike on the podcast if we
yeah.
can, please. I think
Okay.
I've mentioned that to him, but
Mike and
Mike and Karen.
okay.
Yep.
Mike for sure. If Mike and Karen come on, they might battle it out. They're a really, really fun couple.
Okay.
But let's try to get Mike
Okay.
on for sure.
For sure.
Ran an auction barn, or still does an auction company for forever, and so did his dad. So
Okay.
that guy's a hoot. Between him and Aaron, you can't get a lot of words in, and I talk a lot, obviously. So that says a lot.
Yeah. So Mike, I had told him we were taking over the business, and Amy was coming to work, and his wife also shared. I said, "How do you guys do it?" And she
Yes.
said, "Aaron, you have to be willing to accept her ideas, listen to them, and not just throw out the, oh, we tried this already, or we've done this before."
Yes.
And that's what I've tried to do, and I do, and
Yeah.
she might not say that, but
Sure.
it does work.
Yeah,
it does
yeah.
help.
We just
So,
talked about that in Dale Carnegie at our course that we're taking right now about disagreeing agreeably.
Yep, yep.
And all
Yep.
those great tips that you can apply to
For sure,
real
for
life
sure.
and work, for sure. I guess getting back to the historian piece too, what do you think, Nixie, the beginning stages of Piggly Wiggly, what would they think like shocking to what would be right now? Like fast forward, what do you think would just
my grandfather passed in 97. We opened our current store in 2000. And I always think like just how close he was to being in 4 out of the 5 stores.
Yeah. Wow.
Probably the technology would be the biggest thing.
Yep.
He would always tell me, he always carried a notepad, a clipboard. Everything was written down. They'd put orders in by, I think how we used to get like mail for the store and bakery totes in the morning. I mean, obviously no email and such.
Yeah.
And,
Probably the data of your customers, I assume.
yeah.
Because you have data with your rewards points, you know
Correct.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know all the habits of all your customers.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
And
I
that's
think
kind of the, what do you want to call it? The hidden secret of the rewards points.
it is.
That business, it's a Fleet Farm, Amazon, the Piggly Wiggly. They know everything you do, when, how, where.
And we almost count on them knowing now because they can suggest what we need and it
Yes,
helps.
for sure.
Yeah, I get it.
You
It can
learn
be
a lot.
it can be an evil tool and it can be a positive tool,
for
right?
sure,
As many things in life, as all technology, really.
Yeah.
And he was one always to like embrace, and I mean he was there when we got credit card machines for the first time, seeing that. So like he understood the technology, he knew how it helped the business, and he would just stand back and appreciate it. So
Yeah, very
that-
cool. And we talked about that here even with your dad Albert too, and seeing how much it's grown, and you just got to keep evolving and keep
Yep.
going. So, how many employees do you have? What does that look like today? You know,
We-
talk about your culture a little bit.
We have an average of about last year I think we averaged about 116 people.
Which is a single location grocery store. Isn't that just to me? That just is like you just walk through the grocery store and you're like, I don't know, 15 people. Like you're managing 116, and how many are part time?
I would say probably 2/3 of those are part time.
I mean, that's an unbelievably part time workforce.
Yeah.
How do you manage that? I mean, the high school kids is Aaron does a great job of giving people their first jobs. I mean, a lot of them don't last real long, right? I mean, they last 3 months, 6 months, a year.
I say 6 to 18 months.
Okay.
Okay, so what
You
you could really work with most
And
of them.
it's either A, I get my first cell phone, or B, I get my driver's license.
Yeah.
Right.
And we
Yes.
encourage that.
Yeah.
The first meeting, I meet with them, I meet with their parents.
Because of the grocery
Cool.
store business too, you're not starting out at $25 an hour.
No, you're
So it's
definitely
a
not.
springboard to maybe
Yeah.
a landscape job
Yeah.
or something that's paying
And-
in the high teens or low 20s.
And we tell them that right away. This isn't going to be your career. Now, I
Yes.
am lucky enough to say we have launched a few careers for people at other stores, our store.
Yeah,
Wow.
you've had legacy people though come through
Correct.
for sure.
Correct. Yep.
But at the same time, like, this isn't your career,
Yeah.
but these are the steps we're going to help you get to be a mailman, or you're going to work at Drexel, or you're going to be a mason, you know, and that's what we do.
Mason Schultes? Or no?
No,
To be a mason.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Mason concrete.
He
Come on now, Jules.
Just kidding. Sorry, Mason.
Have a little more old fashions. My question would be, what training? How do you train these people that are going to be with you 6 months, 18 months? How do you keep them in tune? How do you keep them engaged? They're working 5 to 20 hours a week.
more like 5.
Yeah, so they're working just a slight shift, yet the customer service level can't drop, the stocking positions can't drop. How do you train them?
That's a challenging part. So we're constantly, I don't want to use the word over your shoulder, but you're working with them. You're helping guide them and making sure you
So
understand.
you don't have a formal process, you do more of a guidance?
We do have
mentorship?
like a three to 4 day training thing that
Okay.
we go through. I go through an orientation platform with them, like an onboarding process. But these kids, what we try to reinforce is their customer service is going to be important anywhere.
Yep.
If they leave and go to Starbucks or when they go up to a college job.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to drive home. Like, if you bake groceries at the end of this, fantastic. If you know how to stock the shelves, say good for you.
Yeah.
But we really focus on those things that they can take to the next job.
Yeah.
And what other things you focus on?
We focus on being friendly, being courteous, recognizing like a customer in distress that maybe can't find something or someone's in need. Just those little small things that like,
Kind of just care.
yeah.
Yeah.
And those are things like I always just like just knew how to do that, but at the same time, like not everyone knows how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we've
So-
talked it on before, like words matter, training matters. You just can't say just be friendly. You have to actually give them the words and give them the actions, because being friendly that's just so variable. And like you said, you think people just know that.
Yeah.
They may not necessarily know what you mean by that, or they really don't know that.
So my big hang up is if I'm helping Jules out to the car and she
Yes.
says, "Thank you very much." I try not to leave with a "Yep,
Oh.
you're welcome." You know, something other
Yeah,
than
you
"Yep."
heard it. Yep. Yep.
You know, "Yep" is an easy word to say.
And you guys
but
don't have a
it's-
tagline. Have you thought of doing taglines like Quick Trip? Right? What is
Oh,
it?
see you tomorrow? Or like,
See you next time.
See you next time. See you
Yeah.
next time. See you next
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
Yep.
Sorry to the Quick Trip enthusiasts that we got that stumbled on that a little bit.
We'll edit that.
I felt bad. I'm like, I should know that. I go on enough Quick Trips.
We try not to get too cookie cutter with our.
Okay.
So I want each like individual
empowerment.
personality to
Okay, to-
show, and
yeah.
and it does because customers
Yeah.
will. some do name tags, some don't, and that doesn't bother me. But I like it when someone comes in that says, "Hey, that guy with the spiky hair, or the young lady over at Register 2," you know, and that's.
So explain to Aaron and I have had this talk numerous times. The Piggly Wiggly connection. It's not Laatsch's grocery store, right? That's Aaron's last name, and it's not just the Piggly Wiggly. So, what is a Laatsch's Piggly Wiggly? What does Piggly Wiggly do for you, and how does that evolve? Because really, independent grocery stores, kind of like independent lumberyards, cease to exist. Again, you can find outliers. Cease to exist as an independent, and then you have the big boys, right? You obviously have the Walmart as the horse, and you got kind of the hybrids of the Roundies and the festivals, if you will. But then you have this thing called Piggly Wiggly. So what is a Piggly Wiggly? Also, aka the Wobbly Sow, for all of you that don't know that. Wobbly Sow, I prefer.
So the great part about Piggly Wiggly.
Jules did not catch that the first time. I thought she didn't, because she started singing. I'm like, she did not hear me say Wobbly Sow, so I had to really put the emphasis on there. Sorry, slide that in. I thought I could just slide it in, but now I had to hammer it home. Okay, moving on.
The great part is we're part of a franchise, but we can tailor our franchise to our hometown.
Okay.
So we can do our own marketing. We're backed by marketing of ad support and our loyalty programs, and any assistance that way, and obviously statewide advertising, whether with the Badgers or the Bucks or the Packers. But we can help out the local Boys and Girls Club or the Lions Club. We can do certain things in town that other stores aren't doing, and that's how I try to individualize our Piggly Wiggly, set us apart from the other guys.
And how many Piggly Wigglies are there?
There's 87 stores.
Mainly in the Midwest, mainly in Wisconsin?
All Wisconsin stores. There's, I think, 2 in Illinois.
And one on St. George Island.
What?
In a grocery store.
Yeah, so our whole...
And I've been to St. George twice, which I sent a picture. I went back to this in March. I sent Aaron a picture of it in Florida.
Yep. So
it's the only grocery store on the island, but it's really not. It's kind of like a quick trip hybrid, but it's the Piggly Wiggly. So I'm like, this is a Piggly Wiggly here.
Yeah.
Our wholesaler, CNS, is out in New Hampshire, so they franchise these out. So we're part of the Piggly Wiggly Midwest group.
Okay.
Only in Wisconsin, a couple in Illinois. Okay. There's ones in the south, some in the east. And
so you're a regional Piggly Wiggly. So how many?
We are.
How many national Piggly Wigglies are there?
I couldn't even tell you.
But because you aren't part of that network.
Correct.
And it's all that franchise is all run by a company in
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
And so they own our warehouse in Sheboygan, but at the same time, this is the decisions for our stores, our marketing and such is all made out of Sheboygan.
And then so how often do you meet with your 87? Or see them or talk to them, or is there not a lot of...
Usually once a year. I'm on a retail advisory board of 9 owners throughout the state that I represent. So every 2 weeks we do a Zoom call. We did one this morning. Quarterly or even more, we meet in person.
And what are the metrics you chase, or the things you talk about?
Customers, keeping customers, sales rising.
Same agenda, or just open loosey-goosey?
No, we do have an agenda, but it's all input from us, 9 owners, and we try to represent the other stores. We got Kevin Harvey here in Campbellsport. He just joined our board last week, and Kevin and I are both single store owners, and then there's other owners in the board who are 7, 8 store owners. So I like to be part of it because I can share what a 1 store owner is feeling versus a 7 store guy.
Which is different.
Which is really different.
Is it quite a bit different? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are really hands off. I get there.
Scales of economy.
I'm maybe mopping the floor or bagging groceries some days. Those guys are more so overseeing their management team.
Yeah.
And I do that too, but I like the single store concept of being hands on.
Yeah, if you walk in any time to the Piggly Wiggly, you're going to see a Laatsch, but a lot of times you're going to see Aaron.
And we were just talking about advisory too on one of our podcasts to come here. Outside of that advisory board, who else has been a mentor to you? Is it I don't know if you have all the list of books like Joel, but anything that you utilize to help?
I don't. People I come across in everyday life, I try to apply different things.
Learn different things too. Yeah.
Through my history stuff, I've talked to numerous business people from the past, from Kewaskum. Jim Regal is probably the most notable one.
Okay.
He's 2nd generation Regal Ware.
And at one point, Regal Ware employed how many people in Kewaskum?
Oh, gosh, I think they had over 1,000, and they were up in the 2,000 range.
And the town itself was about 2,000, so they employed 1 to 1 of people in town.
Yeah, like we would plan our business around their factory shutdown days when they got off. on Easter, on let's say Good Friday, that we do, hey, Riga wears off, we're going to be slammed.
Well, you think of a town of 2,000, if 10% of them went out for a drink on Friday nights after work, that's 200 people.
Yeah.
So the bars, the restaurants, the grocery stores would just flood when they would come out of town, which is kind of the story of the United States in many ways. And New Holstein had Tecumseh and you know, just a lot of that stuff all shifted overseas. But that really was a story of manufacturing in the Midwest.
Yep, the factory whistle would blow and they'd hit the stores.
Aaron published his own book as well.
Oh,
so really the history of Kewaskum, a long, extensive book with many years of research. Can you kind of explain why you did it, how you did it, what it is? Is it still available?
Yeah, so just really quick. It all started like in 97, 98, back again to my grandfather. That when he had passed away, I all of a sudden became super interested in family genealogy and history. Well, I spent a couple of years on that. I don't want to say I found everyone, but I got bored with it. You know, got really deep into it. Then I started focusing on town history or business history, I guess it was. Then I did town history and village history, and it just kept going from there.
Wow.
A few people have asked me when my history interest started.
Can we still buy the book, and what's the name of the book?
You can. Kewaskum, Making of a Village. It is available at your local Piggly Wiggly.
And how many books have you went through?
We printed 2,000, and we have sold about 1,800 of them. So
Wow.
Congrats.
Very cool.
With all the funds going right back to the Historical Society. So,
and it is extensive, and yours truly is, Aaron, as a good friend, kind of put an Easter egg and put my name in it, so I can find it in there. I'm not really part of the history of Kewaskum, but kudos to Aaron for putting my name in. He snuck it in.
He stuck it in.
Because there was a lot of pages, no one reads it all. I mean, whatever.
I've never had anyone say how Fleisch get in there. So.
Not yet, because they never made it that far into the book.
Chapter 9 is deep.
Just me.
Noted.
Although he did not find Kewaskum is named after Chief Kewaskum, and I know Aaron's done probably more research than anybody trying to find the truth about who Chief Kewaskum was, correct?
Okay.
So no kidding, this last fall...
Which is also Kewaskum Indians, mascot for our town, correct. Which has been controversial. It seems like we're kind of past that, but that kind of flares its head every once in a while.
The Dodge County Historical Society called us. They found a Native American skull in their storage claiming to be Chief Kewaskum. Well, long story short, it turned out not to be him, another Native American from that same time period. Yes. But yes, it's hit numerous dead ends.
And how many hours do you think you have into just chasing Chief Kewaskum?
When my daughter, when I finished that book, and my youngest daughter goes to me, "Hi, I'm Olivia."
Oh.
I think Alexis may have too. So a lot of hours.
Countless hours.
Yes.
Oh wow! And when did you? I think you were saying, when did that all start?
Well, the book
interest?
I started working on in 2015. We published in 2020.
And how many pages is it? Just
300.
Yeah, I mean, it's very extensive.
That's for sure.
Very proud of him for that.
Yeah. And when did your interest in history in general?
I tell everyone it started right after I flunked sophomore year history class.
Okay.
Somewhere after that, and that's no joke.
I had one of the best history teachers. He just made it so interesting, and the delivery. I mean, it's when PowerPoint was a big deal, all the things. So I was kind of in that. Much respect. And
I think for any small town to not have a local historian, and we're so thankful to have Aaron for the town that I grew up in. It's really cool to know the names and the places and the whys and what did that building mean to somebody 125 years ago.
Sure.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna go off the cuff. What just came to me, but happy hour, and you get to pick anybody, past or present, that you can have a drink with. Who would that be?
Probably my great grandpa. Probably.
Yeah. For sure.
That's cool. And what was his name?
Nicholas.
And I actually, again, we always talk about heaven on here and spirituality and all that stuff. I always think I just don't think people understand how cool heaven's going to be. They always think about, we talked about before, rainbows and unicorns and peace and love and clouds and harps. And I think it sounds really boring. So I think that's actually kind of a devil-y thing. Because that's I don't think that's true at all. If you think about it, Aaron's going to die someday. And if he gets to heaven, he'll be able to have that conversation. And think about, and now that I'm a father, how cool it will be for me to meet my fifth generation.
Oh, yeah.
person the opposite way,
For
right? And it's
sure.
talking eternity. So we can all sit
Yes.
around and just shoot cards and like, now you're Nicholas. Oh, we got to have a talk, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I've been watching you, Aaron. We got to have a talk,
Yeah.
right? And they probably have the same mannerisms, kind of look alike. Like it's got to be wild. It's
sure.
so much fun.
Absolutely.
Or just mix you going, you got to meet my grandpa. And you're like, yeah, I've been waiting, grandpa. Like, that's just so cool. Like we got to work
have
so
no
hard.
idea.
We got to work so hard to get to heaven.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 2026 is a big old milestone year. What else are you looking forward to, or what's coming?
What's hot at
Yeah.
the grocery store?
Yeah,
What's trending at the grocery store?
For sure.
Good boy RTDs, carbless RTDs.
And that's ready to drink. That's what we're drinking
Yes.
now. So
Yep.
RTD means ready to drink.
Yep.
Really, if you go to a conventional supermarket like we are, people are looking for something different.
Yes.
And that's why we try to have signature items in our store.
Yeah.
Stuff that you aren't going to find at another.
So basic
grocery
stuff. You gotta have your staples.
Everyone has cornflakes.
But you gotta have your staples, and
Yeah.
you're looking to
Okay.
be that specialty Trader Joe means Costco,
Correct.
Amazon-y type. Can't find anywhere else vibes.
I
And you
tell-
kind of like lean towards the local atmosphere of that,
We
right?
do. I tell every 14-year-old that comes in the door within 7 to 10 miles of our store are 7 to 10 other grocery stores, and that's no joke.
Yep.
And Amazon is number 1 on the list at
Yep.
zero miles.
Yeah.
You order it today, it's sitting on your porch.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So it's competitive out there. We try to look different. We try to be different.
Yeah.
Try to offer different.
For sure.
So-
And going back to the service too, friendly, care, all of those things that are
Yeah,
gonna.
and it's no secret.
No,
Small
yeah.
town grocers cannot always be the same price as Walmart,
Right.
Costco.
Yeah.
We just can't pull it off.
For sure. Yeah.
But we can pull off all the small things for you, and we can come in at a fair price, and we can look pretty damn good doing it. So
For sure. Well, we're already to the end of our
That's
podcast.
crazy. These go so
I
fast. This
know,
was like, I felt like
right?
we just touched the surface
I
here.
know. We're gonna have to come back.
Aaron thought for sure I'd blackmail him somewhere. I didn't even blackmail him once. I didn't
You
set
gave
him
me the
up.
reins.
Oh, it's so sad. I didn't pigeonhole him.
Oh boy. Well, Aaron, you get a billboard, and it can be any color you want, personal, professional. What is speaking to you, or what message do you want to share?
So all the podcasts, I think of this every time I watch the
Yeah.
podcast. And
Which we appreciate. You're one of the
Yes.
4 people that do, so that's great.
I noticed that.
Oh, you noticed that?
How many subscribers
Maybe a
here?
little small slam. So this isn't going to help viewership having a guy that owns a grocery store on.
It's not. Be nice. That I think of that all the time, and that's really as simple as that.
Yeah.
And that's at home. That's out in public. That's at work. That's
Yes.
at church. Everywhere. Be nice.
Yeah,
It's not that hard.
It's so easy.
it is. Yeah.
And
And Aaron is kind of a simple guy, living a home roots
Yes.
life, and great guy, one of my best friends. And, probably the nugget we can maybe even end with is, Joel had some pretty wild ideas and pretty wild stories, I guess, or
Yep.
I'm out there somewhere on the spectrum,
for sure.
right?
We all are.
But I have my grade school friends, shout out to Oms, Crawl, Chad Cook, but especially first grade friends, Oms and Crawl and Laatsch. Those are guys that are like almost polar opposites of me in some ways. They all kind of think I'm nuts, probably right. And sometimes I'm like, you guys got to get out more. And I'm probably sometimes right. So it's been a good balance all these years. And without them, I'd probably be, I don't know, dead is the wrong word, but who knows where I'd be. So I'm blessed for them because
Yes. Yeah.
they've helped me a lot. So
For sure.
So
yeah.
be nice. So Aaron's always been nice, for sure.
Thank you, Aaron, for the gift of your
Oh,
time.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks
to
for coming on, AJ.
150.
Yeah,
Peace, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Thank you.